Hey there. For loops are like a handy tool in programming that allows you to run the same code over and over and over again. It's like a robot. You just tell it some instructions and then it's going to do those set of instructions however many times you want, no questions asked. They are especially important when it comes to dealing with lists or arrays or strings. And in my experience, this is where the for loop really shines. In for loops, they give you an iterator variable, and you can use this variable to access a particular index in an array, in a set of data, or a string. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, you'll see in my example. For loops are a fundamental skill when it comes to programming, and they're used in a variety of different programming languages and a variety of different applications, such as data processing, data analysis, algorithm implementation, the list goes on. And in this video, I'll be going over what a for loop is, how it works. I'll be going over the three components of a for loop, and then I'll be going over a practical application or practical coding challenge where you would use a for loop. So let's begin. And this tutorial is for those people who downloaded my personalized finance app programming guide. And it's a free guide, it's a PDF guide that you can download at the link in the description. And basically it teaches you how to build your first app. And in this app, you take your credit card transactions from your credit card company, and then you can categorize your transactions into different budget categories so you know how much you're spending. And this is a really fun app, it's really practical, and if you download it and pay attention to what it says, you'll definitely learn some fundamental programming concepts. Alright, this is Visual Studio Code, and if you don't know how to set it up, you can watch my tutorial on how to do that. This tutorial is in C, but like I said earlier, every language pretty much has for loops. Alright, so here's a basic program that uses a basic for loop. Here in the beginning, we have the pound include for our standard input-output library. Alright, so here's our for loop, and like I mentioned earlier, it's just going to run this line of code multiple times. And like I mentioned earlier, for loops have an iterator variable, and in my opinion, this is the most important part, or the most fundamental essential part of a for loop, and that's the iterator variable. And this iterator variable is initialized to 1 at the beginning of the for loop, and then there is a condition that if the condition is true, it's going to go inside this for loop. Basically, it's going to run the instructions inside the for loop. And then we increment the number or we decrement the number. And in this case, we're incrementing the number. If you want to decrement the number, you do I minus minus. So in this for loop, it will set I equal to 1 at the beginning, and then it's going to print what I is, which is 1, and then it'll get to the end. And when it gets to the end, it's going to increment the number by 1, and it's going to be 2. I will be equal to 2, and then we'll go back to the top of the for loop, and then I will equal 2, and then the for loop will check the condition. If I is less than or equal to 5, it will go and run this piece of code again. And 2 is less than 5, so it's going to run this code again. So if you run this code, it should print us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's run it and see what happens. Okay, so there you go. It just prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna put a end of line character at the end. I also want to separate it from this instruction. So let's put some end of line characters. Alright, that looks better. Now if you change this to the end of line character, it's going to print 5 lines with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something special to note about this for loop is that the I variable or the iterator variable is declared here at the same time at the beginning. You can actually move the declaration out, and what a declaration is, if you don't know, is just declaring that we're using a variable called I as an int variable. So we can move it out, and then you can still use it here. So this should still work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And something I wanted to point out is, even if you set your variable to 9, initialize it to 9, when you come to the for loop, it's still going to set it to 1. And that took me some time to learn when I was first starting out. So we run it, and then we look at what happened, it still starts at 1. Alright, so now for our coding challenge. Say you wanted to find the average of a set of numbers. You can use a for loop to calculate that average. So let's start. So let's create an array. So let's create an array called test scores. And say we had a student and we want to calculate the average of his test scores. So he got 100 on the first, then let's say he got a 60 on the first exam. Pretend this is college. So say we had a student who had 60, 78, 80, 76, and we want to find the average of his test scores. So we have 4 test scores here. So what we want to do is we want to use the for loop to add all of the numbers together. So we need to create another variable called, we create a variable called average test score, we set it equal to 0. And basically what we want to do is we want average test score to equal to average test score plus test score and I. Test scores I. No, we forgot to say that this is an array of size 4. So basically we'll start off with 0, and then we want to add 60. So it'll be this one. Give us 60, and then we'll go through the for loop again, and we'll add 78. We'll add 80, and then 76. But for arrays in C, we start off, this is called the 0th index. So we need I to initialize to 0. Okay, so we'll start off at 0. That will give us 60. So this will be 60 the first time the for loop runs. Then the second time will be 78, and then the third time will be 80, and then the fourth time will be 76. And we need to adjust our condition because we only want to go through this 4 times. So how do we do it? Do we use 4? That's a reasonable guess, but that's not correct because I will equal 4, and then 4 will come in here, and then we'll have 4 go here, but there is no 4th index in this array. There's only 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's not good. So we need to use a less than condition. So if I is less than, when I is equal to 4, he's not gonna go into the for loop. He's gonna skip. Alright, so what I like to do, especially if you're a beginner, is I like to just print what the value of I is for every iteration, so we can visually see what I is going to be and how many times this for loop is going to run this set of instructions. So let's run this. Okay, so it's going to give me 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that means it's going to give me, so test scores is going to be the 0, which is going to be 60. And then 1, which is 78, 2 is 80, and 3 is 76. So that's exactly what we want. And then what we want to do is we want to get the average test score and divide it by 4. And then we want to print the average test score. Okay, so the average score is 73. So we just use the for loop to calculate the average. Now is that actually true though? Let's try to use a calculator to calculate this. Okay, so Google gives us 73.5. And what did we calculate? We calculated 73. Yeah, that's correct. And maybe you're saying, oh, it's not 73.5. So the reason why it said 73 is because it's an int. But if we change our variables to double, we'll have a more accurate calculation, and it'll give us the decimal. So, and then I changed it to %lf for double. So let's run that. And there you go. The average score is 73.5. So this is a practical application for using for loops. Alright, so this is my tutorial for for loops. If you have any other questions or you were confused by something, feel free to let me know in the comments section. And if you have any other ideas for tutorials that you want me to do, feel free to let me know as well. And if you're in the beginning of your programming journey, I'm honored to be a part of it, and I'd love to hear from you. What got you interested in learning how to code? Feel free to let me know in the comments section. And as always, I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.